Good afternoon. Welcome to episode 3 of Ronins of the East. I'm your host, Mr. Sanya, Josh. Today we've got Kwoli Black. Good to have you, bro.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
All right, so for those tuning in for the first time, what we're here to discuss is the science behind the creativity within the music industry. The reason we chose the name Ronin is because if we go back to the 11th to 19th century, it was a masterless samurai that refused to commit seppuku and decided to forge their own path. And relating it to the music artist that we're featuring, again, Kwoli today, is to look at his own journey, how he's kind of found himself, and also the path in which he's going to be going to in the future as well. So, for those of you that don't know you, give us an introduction.
My name is Kwoli Black. I am a hip-hop R&B artist. I literally blend the two worlds. Well, I try to anyway. It's kind of cool that the whole Ronin thing, because I love Japan, I love Japanese anime, culture, food, all of that. So that's really dope. Kind of feels like serendipity. It was meant to be, man. But yeah, you got questions for me? Find out.
Oh, for sure.
Find out more.
First one I want to ask you, so Kwoli Black, where does that name come from?
So I started off doing spoken word, and I went for another name on Tumblr. You know, remember Tumblr? Everyone used Tumblr.
Of course.
Now it's just for porn, but but before I used it for my poetry, and I went by J Black. J was, my first name, and Black was just who I am.
Black guy, yeah.
Black guy.
Get it.
Yeah. So I went through J Black, and then I went through just Kwoli, and I went through Kwoli Black. So Kwoli is a derivative of Talib Kweli. Kweli meaning truth in Swahili, and Kwoli is also Native American for wolf, which is my favorite animal.
Eesh, I love that. I'm gonna have to spud you for that one real quick. Because I've been thinking, because I've known you by reputation for a while. Just behind the camera is Josh. He's a producer on Room 4. We collaborated quite a few times over the few years, and I've always said to him, like, yo, get me in a session with Kwoli, man. Like, I'll be honest, there's one tune in particular, I think I told you this the last time we met. It actually got me close to tears. Yes.
Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking, bro, this guy's talking about my personal situation with my missus right now. I was like, nah,
love is sweet, man. Love is sweet. It's good, but and that's me. I am, not to quote Drake, but certified lover boy. You know, it's like that's one of the main sources of inspiration I sort of derive from. My emotional state when I'm either in love or falling out of it. It's like pain and joy are two big sources of inspiration. So, and there's nothing greater than love.
Absolutely. So kind of tell us about that when it comes to, your poetry days, obviously. So was that also very love-oriented? Yeah. The poetry is still kind of there. It's still kind of there. I can't obviously speak too much because it's stuff that people will come to find out later down the line with the EP and stuff. But yeah, it's very connected still to love, and I guess the process that you go through when it's the beginning all the way through to the end kind of inspires me a lot. Sure. It almost seems like when you think about a lot of rappers, or what I consider conscious rappers, like your Koji Radicals, let's say Shay Lingo, Drake, fuck it, why not, he's there. It always seems to stem from, these feelings of love and poetry. I mean, how was it for you to transition from spoken word almost to, expressing yourself over music?
It wasn't seamless. It wasn't straightforward because my first project was...
why are you cringy?
It's cringy, bro. It's cringy. Some people like it. Some people still play it, which is like, why? But I appreciate it. I love it. But when I sort of think back to the journey, it wasn't seamless. I think for me, I like to say my music journey started in 2019.
Okay.
Because that's when I kind of understood what I want to do with it and kind of took it seriously. Josh was actually the one that was like, yo, I like the way you do poetry. Come, let's do music, And you kind of think it's like, okay, poetry is music. Music is poetry, but it's a whole different ballgame. There's certain nuances and things you need to learn. There's a lot more evolution. With poetry, you can kind of do the same style and keep that going forever. But with music, you evolve at a rapid rate sometimes. So you have to keep up with yourself.
What's interesting there as well is I know you and Josh went to uni together, right?
Yes.
Tell us about how you met and how that musical partnership formed.
He stalked me. Nah, I'm joking.
Alright, we don't want any interference from these backup dancers. Back up, Josh. 1 sec.
I did a show with another one of our close friends, Official Ore. Check him out on YouTube and that. He was a host and a presenter, and he did like this talent show, kind of like celebrating the talent in the city of Nottingham. It was poetry, music, you know, and he put me on the lineup, I think twice, and I think it was the second time he put me on the lineup. Josh was there performing for someone else. So not Josh, Jay Strings, let's be professional. Jay Strings was there performing on guitar for someone else, and he saw me and he kind of approached, I think he approached Ore, and Ore told me like, yo, Strings wants to work with you. And then me and Strings kind of just linked up. He invited me to his crib, he had a home studio set up, and the rest is history.
So how has that process evolved over time, right? I mean, we've obviously been indoors for over 2 years now. I know After Hours, which you dropped quite recently as well. The artwork I thought was so sick. I love blue. I love that that's also a theme that you've got going on. But it's you sat on your desk, you know, honing your craft writing, right? How did that kind of contrast with, you know, how you made some of these older projects?
The older projects were made either in Strings' studio at home or Pirate Studio. We were back and forth between those, the one in Nottingham. But a lot of the time going in, we kind of just went in and just did whatever. And whatever came out of it, if we liked it, we kind of just said, okay, yeah, cool, this is cool. Put it on. But then, as I've sort of learned to study my peers and my idols, and he's also evolved and he's ridiculously talented as a producer, it's kind of forced me to really take the craft seriously and take music seriously. So now I have my own home set up. So despite being in a pandemic, Strings would be like, yo, here's a beat. I'm like, yo, I got an idea, I got lyrics. I send him like maybe the acapella, or I find a YouTube beat, send that off to him, and then we'll kind of just create it. And he'll send it to me and I'll be like, nah, change this, change that. Sometimes I have an idea as well, which is really cool. Like I don't know music terminology. I'm not a producer yet, and I don't know how to play. I kind of know how to play piano, but I'm very basic. But our synergy is ridiculous. Like he's able to take my ramblings and make it into reality, you know? So with After Hours, the lockdown forced me to do DIY, and I took that in my room myself. Like I took the cover art myself, and it's actually me late night writing down, you know, maybe a letter to my ex-lover, essentially. And that's the whole premise behind After Hours. It's two sides of a story, but, you know, on the face you only see one.
Almost duality in itself, right?
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to kind of ask you there as well is, so thinking about, you know, the creative process, how you almost want love to manifest in your music and your story. I'm assuming you've got a project coming up in the future as well, right?
Yep.
What kind of themes are you looking to explore as you're starting to really find your groove?
So thematically, I guess, you know, we're focused on the story of Blue, who is the protagonist.
Oh, you made an actual like story for?
Yeah. I mean, the story is me. You know,
you're Blue.
I am Blue. Blue is I, and I am Blue. But Blue exists in that world alone. And he exists as a guy who found love, lost love. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he finds it again. I don't know, we have to wait and see. You have to wait and hear. Wait, not wait and hear, see. You have to wait and hear. But it's a journey, you know, it's the whole idea that love begins and ends, but it's cyclical in nature. And it may come in a different form, but it's still the same thing.
So we know that you've come up with Josh around the same time. You synergize very well. I know he produced a lot of your first tape. We were actually listening to it on the way in the car here. You know, with you, again, you have this kind of ethereal theme with your artwork and things like that. How about future collaborations or current collaborations? Are there any other kind of artists that you've now found that you also synergize with quite well?
Yeah. There's guys within our circle, such as Kwei, another talented guy, Kente Kwame, another talented guy. But I also really wanna reach out to some other artists that I just really fuck with. You know, I just think some cold shit out here, man. Like, but it's just it's a weird situation because it's like we are still in a pandemic, so it's not easy to arrange studio time. So it's like, it's either I sort of send them something, if they fuck with it, then cool.
They'll come back to you.
They'll come back to me. Or I wait until we're allowed to be out and about and I say, yo, I want to invite you to a session, you know, type shit. But yeah.
One thing that is becoming quite evident for, you know, up and coming artists like yourself, we had one of my friends, Jordan, come on for the first episode, and he was saying you need to treat music like a business, right? You need to think about the marketing, the content creation, the exploratory phase, and then finding your niche. I know, for example, again, stalking your profile, that you've done a massive cull of a lot of the content you had before, and it's become a lot more clear that you're trying to almost fit that blue persona, right? So people can identify and understand, okay, this is Kwoli sound. If you want to just give us some insight into how you've been doing that.
So it kind of began, I guess, just before After Hours started to, I think before we were about to release it, I started thinking about my online persona, my presence, all that shit that kind of gives me a headache, because it's like, damn, I just want to release music.
I hear it. I actually hear it.
Music is, like you said, it's a business. There is a lot of elements that go around it, and it's expensive as fuck. As an up and coming artist, it's pricey. So you kind of have to make your money's worth, and you kind of really have to do the right things in order to get your music where it needs to be. So for me, we've started to really think about branding and persona and the external factors, such as how I look, how I present myself, how I interact with people. And that kind of sounds really like fucking nitpicky, like, oh, don't do, but it's not really like, don't do this, don't do that. It's more of a case of I have to think about what I could do, or what maybe, you know, would work. So for me, I had to get rid of a lot of stuff that didn't really fit where I want to be. But at the same time, I'm still me. So you're still gonna see bits in between releases that are just me.
Yeah. Now, the one thing that I really liked about your page as well is you've got some really good press pictures of you, like, almost doing, I won't do it here because if I fall off and snap my neck, none of you lot can swim.
Can't swim.
I can swim, but as you can see, hold on, zoom in real quick. Can you zoom in? Which camera? Which camera?
It's this one.
That one? I'm fucking drippy right now. I'm not about to jump in to the, is this the Thames?
This is the Thames.
I'm not about to jump in by the river.
No, but look, the point I wanted to make though is, like, you've got some really good press photos, and I remember looking at, you started to share the feedback that you're receiving from your tunes, right?
Yeah.
Like, that looks awesome, because as soon as I see that, I identify with this is Kwoli's brand.
Yeah.
And the pictures are crisp and it fits whatever narrative you're also trying to convey, right? Same with the photo shoot that you did last week, right? Man was saying he was chubby, and I was thinking, where?
Yo, I'm chubby, a little bit chubby. Don't be deceived. I got a little bit weight, pocketed. It's like a little pocket. I got, you know, they're gonna slow me for this, but I got a fupa, a little bit.
Nah, you don't. But what I mean is, like, that is you on that pursuit towards, you know, personifying whatever you want to in your journey, right?
It's just dope to see the feedback. It was actually String's idea to kind of publish that, but it's really cool because I get a lot of interesting comments.
Oh yeah.
About my music. Some are funny, some are really, like, you know, inspiring. Some are like, fair enough. And I just felt like, you know what, let me share some of this, you know? Like, I think it was Kente Kwame that said, this is after hours for real. This sounds like when that middle-aged guy leaves a club and he's driving home thinking about his ex. I don't know, something like that. And I was like, the world needs to see that, because that's hilarious. So, yeah, for me, I just wanted to share some shit. And then with the photo shoot, that was really cool. That was with Caris Beaumont. She's talented with the camera, man. She made me, that was my first ever photo shoot.
You look comfortable.
I wasn't at first, but she made me comfortable, which I guess is testament to how good of a photographer she is. And then I just had fun with it, you know? I just had fun with it, and I really enjoyed being in that space and expressing myself in a different way.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm trying to think future state then. So it's evident that you're taking your musical journey very seriously, right? Like, I know that you said 2019 was when you really thought, okay, I want to do something with this. But there was this interesting point you made one time when we were in the studio I was about to say weeks, it's been months now. But you were talking about how, you know, the pursuit of perfection almost as a creative. I mean, how does that look like for you?
It looks like a lot of anxiety.
I hear that.
Like, I think with every sort of single I release, we have a schedule, and in that schedule is a panic attack scheduled in for me.
Oh, for real?
For real.
Eesh.
Can I strings? Strings, it's true, innit?
Yeah.
Like every time, like at least the day before the single's about to come out, he never sees it, but I'll literally be in my room having a panic attack. Because it's just like, so many thoughts go into it, like, oh, what if maybe I change this? Or what if maybe I change that? Or what if no one really fucks with it? What if no one really likes it? But that is, again, that is part and parcel of being an artist, because as an artist, for me, or for many, the pursuit is to create a definitive work of art that cannot be surpassed. So in doing so, a lot of the time comes a lot of self-judgment.
Yes.
A lot of worry and fear and insecurity comes with that. And when you believe your art should be here, but it's currently still kind of trailing along, it's getting there, but it's still here, you're like, damn, maybe my shit just ain't really that. Like maybe I just ain't that, but you are. It's just timing. And perfection is impossible to achieve, but it's timing, you know? So that's kind of been the whole, something I've had to kind of learn. I'm still working on it. I'm still having panic attacks. I'm still having fears and worry. And I can't lie though, my next single's Crack. It's Crack.
As in it's called Crack?
It's Crack.
Oh, as in it's
I'm telling you, when you get it, when it comes out, it's Crack. I'm dead serious, and I don't even.
I've never heard anyone. I mean, maybe I'm showing my whiteness here, but I've never heard someone describe their music as it's gonna be like crack.
No, it's Crack with a Q.
With a Q.
CRAQUE.
One more time.
CRAQUE. Crack.
What language is that?
It's Qualinese.
You're just like,
It's Qualinese.
I want to come back to what you just said there. Look, I appreciate the vulnerability, like for real. Like, I think this is something that we can all like relate to in some form of capacity. Like this imposter syndrome, almost like where you're about to, right? You're about to show a piece of your. I call it your soul because you are. You're literally showing your experiences in musical form, and it's like, where do you draw validation from? Is it how many people stream it? Is it how many people comment saying well done?
Yeah.
Or how do you? Or is it that intrinsic reward to know that I've actually just dropped something which I've always worked really hard on? Like for you, the fact that you schedule the time, it's almost like you know innately that this is scary.
It is.
This is scary for me.
Fucking frightening.
Yeah.
Like, making music is hard. People think it's so easy. I feel like I don't want to get into it because I don't want this on camera, because I don't want it to like fuck up potential opportunities. But I feel like there is a reason why people think music is easy based on what we're exposed to or what we're allowed to champion.
Tell me more.
I'm just looking at, I just think that there's some, you know what, I think, I'm gonna say this one line and I'm gonna leave it as that. It's more about clout and not excellence. That's the reason why I feel like a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to make music. Music is just like any other art form. But it's given a little less focus on excellence.
It's almost like if we think about, I don't want to sound like again like an old man, but the current state of the music industry, there's a clear formula.
I ain't saying shit. I ain't saying shit. You're all doing great.
No, but look, I'll speak then. There's a clear formula for performance, right? Like there's certain types of beats, there's certain types of melodies and flows which they know are marketable.
Yeah.
Certain brand images in terms of like, you know, tats on their face and outlandish statements or comments, and that they know will sell because at the end of the day, it's an industry.
Yep.
And, you know, we've spoken again. You may not want to go there, but
nah, fuck it, I'm gonna go there.
Go on, go there.
I just think some music is shit. I'm sorry, I just think some of the music that gets really like, and people might think my music is shit. Fair enough. But god damn, can we have some more quality, please? Some longevity. I want. Next question, please.
But how does someone almost create longevity in this industry?
First, I think maybe the first question, maybe I'm the wrong person to ask this question to because I'm
From
not
what
there
you've
yet.
seen, so yeah, but again, before you answer that as well, Something someone said to me in the studio before, it's like you're almost comparing someone's 5-year journey to the start of yours. And that is incomparable because you are you. You're one of one.
What, me?
Just hypothetically a artist, artist.
Yeah, but you do that anyway. You do that in everything. You do that in work. We work a 9 to 5. You start your job. You look at the senior person and you think, damn, how the hell do you get there? What do I need to do to get there? You look at your manager and be like, damn. You hear the sort of money they're ranking in and you're like, shit, what the fuck I gotta do to get there? But you're only a month in.
Thief of joy, you know?
Comparison is the thief of joy, but it's also something to strive to. But then I think what we also need to do more of is we need to strive to surpassing them rather than just, I wanna be where they're at. No. I wanna be where they're at, but I wanna produce something of higher quality. I want my shit to be where they are at. You know, I don't wanna just make what they're making because I know that will be me in a year or two. I want to be the GOAT in my own right. You understand? So it's like, I see a lot of it. I see a lot of it where it's like, oh, yo, this formula works. Fuck it, let me do that. Cool, fair enough. I understand, you know? But I'd rather make really, really good music that will be listened to in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11 years down the line. Like, I want people to still go back to this EP coming out and be like, this shit hits. Yeah. This is crap with a Q. You know?
Absolutely. No, I do. And it's one of those cases where, again, the journey you're on is very much that. Like, striving for perfection, which will never be achieved, but you'll come close. It's like, shoot for the stars, you'll land on the moon, right? That kind of talk and all that good stuff.
Right.
But who are your musical idols? Like, who do you look up to as like the case study for success?
No one. No,
That's a good answer. Oh, okay, fine. I was about to
That's a fucking lie. If anyone says they don't look up to anyone, they are lying.
I only look up to God.
Yeah, but you still look up to him. And is he not the master creator?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't mind looking up to him. But anyway,
of course.
back to you.
I have people who inspired me, right? Of course you do. You don't do anything without a source of inspiration. So for me, my primary source was Tyler, the Creator.
I didn't expect you to say that.
Oh man, I'm a huge Tyler fan.
I actually wouldn't have guessed
I'm huge. It's crazy.
Bro, okay.
Yeah, it's actually insane. Like, Tyler was actually, Strings took me to go see Tyler live at OT Brixton. And till this day, best concert I've ever been to.
What era was this though? Was this like
I was Tyler from Goblin. I was wearing the fucking shorts. My socks were up to here. That's why I started skating. You know,
want to be Tyler.
I wanted to be Odd Future. Why so many necklaces? I wanted to be just like them, you know. And Tyler evolved, and I think for me till this day, Flower Boy is one of my favorite albums.
I hear that.
I think it's no skits, you know. It's amazing.
Find some time to do something. Find some time.
Yo, like,
oh God,
listen, it's amazing. It's absolutely beautiful music. But then I guess if you want to think about sonically, you know, you listen to my music and you see Drake. There's Loyal Kana. Loyal Kana, I actually sold him a vape pen one time.
Oh, is it?
That was really cool. He don't remember me though.
As in, like,
he asked for
shop?
No, I was working. Yeah, I was working.
All right.
I was doing some shit, and I sold him a vape pen. And he asked for he asked me to send him music. He didn't reply.
Stoosh.
He didn't reply. It's alright. One day.
Look, Khan is an interesting one as well, actually, to be fair. Another UK guy. Who else?
Who else would you say, Strings?
At the beginning, it was Chance.
At the beginning, it was Chance the Rapper. That was so glad I overgrew that.
Why?
Don't worry about it.
Funny enough, I thought you sounded like Gold Link a little bit. I thought he was an influence. So
that was in the beginning as well. That was Gold Link, yeah. Not so much now, but in the beginning, 100% Gold Link, yeah. Young M.A. inspires me a lot as well. It's funny, Till Infinity was inspired by a Young M.A. song.
Really?
Yeah.
How comes? How?
Stubborn Ass.
I don't know Young M.A. that deep.
Yeah, it was just a really dope song. And yeah, she's really sick. She's talented as hell. I think she should be bigger.
Interesting. So I know that you said that you're in partnership with Room 4.
Right.
You're in partnership.
Let's get this clear.
He's in partnership with Room 4,
Let's get this clear.
All right, so do you have any cross collaborations that you're kind of eyeing up with the rest of that panel?
100%. Everyone. You know, how many is it now? 3. So me,
Hillary, Harry,
and Nyla.
Nyla.
Nyla's a really, really talented singer, pop singer. I would happily enter the booth with her, you know? Like, she's crazy talented. And then Hillary has this voice. It's just, it's like honey, you know? So I actually did a collab with her already called Honey. I didn't even mean to do that. But yeah, I'm just waiting for that to come out, but I want to do more, definitely, definitely. But yeah, I'd happily, if they ask me, no question, I'll do it.
Yeah, I think one thing that's very evident about speaking to you is you're trying to be your authentic self in every sense of the word, right?
Yep.
So this question may be a bit loaded because, well, I'm asking you to give advice, but here we go. Thinking of younger and older musicians, artists that are looking to kind of identify their sound, find their niche, and really step out in confidence, knowing that, you know what, this may not be liked. No one may listen to this, but I'm gonna put it out anyway. What advice would you give them to getting to that point where they can be a bit more fearless with their creative process?
It's a hard question because who the fuck am I to give advice, you know? I think, in all honesty, you're not gonna get it straight away. Even now, I still think, yo, this might be trash. Like, this might be ass. So I release something and I might think this will blow, but it might not. And that's the thing. At the end of the day, who is rating it in that moment in time? You are. Focus on that. Just focus on that. If you think, yo, this is sick, you release it, it doesn't do numbers. Okay, but remember what you said when you released it. Focus on that. Just believe in yourself, trust yourself. At the end of the day, no one makes music that nobody likes. It's actually impossible.
Yeah.
You can listen to something now and think, this is trash. Someone will come around and be like, yo, who is that? That's fire. It's music. That's art. It's subjective. So at the end of the day, focus on how you felt when you made it. Focus on, and always have a good people around you. Because Strings will tell me straight away if something's shit. He'll say it. Well, he won't say it's shit, but he won't say it's good.
He just won't say anything.
Yeah, so that's a signal. And I've learned that over the years that, yo, when something isn't good, the first person I'll go to is Strings. But when something is good, and the people around you that you trust and you believe in, and they're not yes men, say it's good, focus on that. Just focus on the good, and then let the universe do its work. Let God do his work, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. All right, I actually want to switch this up. So normally, well, not even normally, this is something which is going to be a theme now. Do you have any questions for me?
What inspires you? That's such a fucking basic question, but what inspires you? The sun's shining and shit.
What inspires me? I think what inspires me is vulnerability and organic conversations.
Okay.
And the reason behind that is, like, everything you've said I can actually resonate with to a T. Like, I've been producing for so many years and I've felt like I've always got in my own way. Like, in the sense of when it comes to, all right, I've created this tapestry of my feelings, and I now want to share that with someone. The anxiety kind of says, no, it's not good enough.
Right.
Why even bothering? There's Kitchen Harder, there's all these other kind of producers that I look up to, right? And I've realized that even from how you've been speaking about this, like, we're all human. We all have flaws. And also another thing that inspires me is trying to, work on my innards so that dictates how I see the rest of the world.
Right.
I'll give 2 analogies, actually, because we're by the river. Internal versus external locus of control. One guy might own one of these boats, like we were joking about
Goddamn
before.
Uber boat.
Yeah.
Y'all see this Uber boat?
That's what I'm saying. One person might own that.
Hey, yo, baby. My girlfriend.
Hey, stop heckling.
Say.
One person may see this boat and be like, I can draw a bare gal on this. I can take her wherever I want to go.
Right.
Everyone's going to think I'm this sick guy, and I'm going to feel great because of that. Another guy might look at that same boat and be like, I like the sense of freedom it gives me. I like the wind in my hair. I like the fact that I can just be alone. And for me, that latter example is very much how I feel about life in general.
One guy might look at it and not even care.
That's true, but and then in my head, I think they care about something else, but they don't know what it is yet. Trying to fill a void somewhere. But the gist of it for me is like I try and see meaning in life through my own lens, and I try to make how I feel dictate whatever I put out there, right? So like, for example, when you say you're going to release something and you get panic attacks,
Yeah.
I hear that. Like, I got a project coming soon and I've been working on it for ages, and I'm thinking in my head, what if no one listens to it? But then I'm thinking, who am I actually making music for? And I wanted to flip that back to you.
Hey, that's hot.
Like, who do you actually make your music for? Let me put the glasses back on.
For the. No, I'm not gonna say it. A 9 bar. No, okay. That's for the Odd Future fans. You know what I'm saying. I make music for. I make it for myself. And this is the thing. I can't make music for other people. You can't actually do that. You might make music that you know other people will like. You can't make music for them. Like, it's, oh yeah, I make this for the women. No, you don't. You might make for the money, for the attention, but you don't make for the women. I make music for me. I make music because I like it, because it's honest, because it is literally me on wax. If you like it, cool. If the women like it, cool. If the man them like it, great. If the children like it, cool. If the oldest like it, great. If I like it, damn, like, you can't say shit to me. You can't say anything to me. You can say a shit, it might make me feel like, oh, damn, really? But then if I listen to it and I'm like, yo, you're bugging, this is hard.
That's what matters.
Yeah, you can't really say, like, what you said don't matter in that moment in time.
Again, almost like you said about that wow moment, that when you've created something and you're like, this is good.
Yeah.
That's what you need to cling on to when the masses listen to it, right?
Yes.
So what's the reception been like for After Hours so far?
It's been good. It's been okay. It's been good. I don't want to downplay it and I don't want to gas it up too much. It's been good. I've been happy with, the response. People have liked it. And it's just a prelude. It's not even an entree, And it's just really, really cool to be back making music. It's back to being an artist, to releasing music, because I'm cold. I ain't scared. I ain't afraid to say it. You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta fuck with yourself. So I think my music is great. I have a great team around me. I have an amazing producer and best friend who supports my ideas, who brings them to life. I have friends around me who encourage me. I have a support system. It's amazing. So it's like I'm not really bothered. I'm just excited to see where it goes, to see where I end up. And
I mean, this is a pretty boring question.
Ain't no such thing.
It's a boring question.
This has been fun.
No, this one is boring because it's just like standard lockdown crap or whatever.
Right.
So, obviously we haven't been able to perform, haven't been able to go to shows. But I know you did one.
I did.
You did do one, right?
I did.
Tell us about it.
Box Park, Shoreditch. I did a headline show that I curated myself. I got a bunch of really dope artists that I really, really liked and said, yo, I'm putting on the show. Do you want to perform? They're like, yeah. I was like, dope. I didn't mention shit about money because I ain't got it like that yet. But they didn't ask for it because they just fucked with the idea, and we were in a lockdown. It was people gagging at the chance to perform.
Absolutely.
I was gagging at the chance to perform, and I didn't know what the turnout would be like because we were still in a pandemic. We are still in a pandemic. I didn't know what the reaction would be. I didn't know what the reaction would be, but it was amazing. The vibes were sublime. The people that came through were amazing. For every artist had amazing support. And that was what made me the happiest. Seeing them perform in their element, people supporting them. It was bliss. It was amazing. And then, shout out to Box Park, to Sundays, which was the people that let me do it. They were a lot of help. So yeah, that was a blessing in a pretty weird time. But I'm hoping this year we can get back to live shows. I'm really, really hoping, because I miss it, man.
One venue you could play this year. London.
Just one in London?
Let's make it
Okay.
easier because there's so many places around there. Let's just say London.
O2 Brixton, man.
O2 Brixton. It's nice there, innit?
Yeah. I mean, sound system ain't the best, but
I'm trying to think who I've seen there.
capacity-wise,
KJ, Golden.
or Coco London.
Coco.
Yeah. Oh my God.
As in XOXO? No, that's a different
No,
company.
KO.
Coco. I've never heard of Coco.
In Camden. Yeah.
Camden?
Yeah.
How far is it from Roundhouse?
Not far. Not
I
far.
feel like I should know that. Anyway, why do you like that place?
Coco was the first place I saw an artist perform, and it was fucking insane. It was great. It was actually beautiful. But O2 Brixton is where I've always kind of gone when I've seen artists live, and every time I go there, I literally envision myself on stage in front of the entire crowd. And they're singing my songs and I'm crying like a little bitch because I'm so happy. And it's like, that is, when it happens, that will be honestly one of the best days of my life. I know it will.
Speak into existence, my G.
Of course.
Speak into existence.
Of course. That's why I say when.
Bro, it's actually been a pleasure to have you on this.
It's been fun.
Episode 3, but where can we find you on social media?
Kwoli Black, very straightforward. KWOLI Black, everywhere, you know. Hit me up, listen to my music, let me know if you like it. If you think it's shit, hope you have a lovely day. But I'm here to stay, and thank you so much,
Pleasure,
Josh, for having me.
Pleasure, my guy.
Blessings.
In a bit, bro.
In a bit.
Sweet.